Welcome to the OPA vlog. We're here with Heather Shore for part 2 of a 3-part series that really talks about 3 different experiences Heather's had over the last 5 years that are really powerful experiences that we can learn from, and she is sharing them and is allowing us to learn from them. And so thank you so much, Heather.
Thank you, Elise. Yeah, thank you.
So in the last edition, we talked specifically about a pregnancy Heather just went through, and we ended that talking about how she had lost Emily in the womb.
Yeah.
So what happened after you found out that Emily had passed away?
So I had, we had found out that she was Trisomy 18 positive. She tested positive for having the chromosomal defect. And about a week, maybe 5 or 6 days later, she actually passed away. So it was very quickly after we found out that she was, kicking around with this thing. And she stopped kicking, literally. And so I had called my midwife, Caitlin, at the Minnesota Birth Center, and I just said, I don't feel anything. She said, come on in. We're gonna, make sure and see what's going on. And I went in, and it was confirmed that Emily's heart had stopped beating. And at that time, there were really only 2, because Emily was 28 weeks, or 27 and a half weeks at that point, 28 weeks. And there were only really 2 options. And the options were either to just do nothing and wait for my body to essentially expel her, or to induce me. And for my health and for a myriad of reasons. And I had thought about what would happen if she died. What would we do? Because that was one of the questions as well. And I had decided that I would be induced the next day. Because it was complicated, we did go to the hospital, and they were affiliated. I was admitted to the Mother and Baby Center, and I had Caitlin, who had taken care of me and checked me prior, and Bridget had checked in, and Rebecca came over, and they were all midwives at the Minnesota Birth. My team from the birth center came over.
Came to the hospital.
And that was a huge deal. Dr. Kelvin showed up in my hospital room, and just extended condolences, and they showed up.
Yeah.
And that's extremely important. So that just, for me, I was so grateful for that.
That's been something that through all of our conversations has come across as one of the most important things in all of this. Is as nurses and midwives and doctors, it's really, they can shape an experience to make it one that is
traumatic or doable.
Yeah.
And nurtured.
Yeah.
And that's what fortunately I had the nurtured one. And I think it's important to know when you're in that state where you don't know what's going to happen, you have no control. The team has really no control. It's how are they taking care of you, and how do you feel cared for?
Yeah.
And that, to me, makes all the difference with the experience. In terms of induction, a meltable pill was put behind my cervix, and I was told it's going to take a while. You won't probably feel something for a while. It's going to soften your cervix, but you won't feel it for some time. And that was true. And it was about 6 hours into, and the rotation was, I think, every 2 hours I had a new pill put in the cervix.
Oh, they just kept putting them in. Okay.
Absolutely. And so finally, about hour 6, it started, and then I started to have contractions. And so Emily had not grown much. She was about 2 pounds, a little bit less than 2 pounds when she came.
Okay.
I was induced, and I went into labor. I pushed. I told you that I was coughing. I had something
Yeah.
separate, but I was coughing, and then there she was, and then I got to hold her for a couple of hours. She had gone, obviously, a couple days before, but it was...
Did that feel, like, how did that feel when you saw her?
I was surprised.
Okay.
Because...
Were you scared at all?
No.
Or no? Okay.
I was proud.
Okay.
I didn't ever think that that would be the case.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was proud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
Because I thought I would be scared or traumatized. But she was there, and she was beautiful. And I held her for hours. And the nurses were so great. They were able to take pictures of her. They kept saying, God, she's so pretty, and just sweet stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and that made a huge difference for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
So that was transformative, and it was just surprising. It was surprising.
Yeah. You couldn't predict what you were going to feel, and it
No.
was all kind of, yeah.
No, but I was really glad I had done the other research, because
Yeah.
all the technicalities I had an idea of, but the feelings I didn't know, you know, and everybody's different.
Yeah.
My reaction is not going to be what everybody's reaction was, but I was surprised that I felt proud of giving birth to her and holding her and of her. So we learn new things.
Yeah.
You know.
And what do you carry with you from that experience? Like now, like as we sit here and as you are living now, and there's everything going around, and you have a child,
a 5-year-old,
yeah,
who's running around, has her own personality. You know, what really resonates with me is how important it is to have people around you who are present. That was huge, because they were there. I could tell.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't just placating me with something I had requested. They really were there and sharing the experience. And if I took away anything, one, obviously life is precious. Every life is precious. And two, the importance of care is even more so than I thought it was. I knew it was important.
Yeah.
But wow, did it change the experience for me to have people who, without really any stake in my well-being, they were human beings. And they were generous human beings with hearts. And there is that good in the world. And that's a huge thing to take away from an experience. So for that, I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much for sharing that.